step is putting a drop in of proparacaine just to take away a blink reflex, and doing both eyes even though you're only putting a lens in one eye. And just kind of increases comfort for somebody that's getting their eyes messed with the unknown. So typically you'll need some sterile wax. Putting the lens in a night and day contact lens is typically the best type of lens, because you're going to leave lens in for a week or 10 days. The product will come in a sterile pack, and each set of scissors is a good way to access this. When you speaking with experience, if you try to peel it, it will float away very easily, and you've lost your discs somewhere in the atmosphere. But typically using a good set of scissors to kind of get access to the disc. And then the disc typically sits in the corner of so the disc is right here. I'll kind of show you where that sits. Kind of see where that disc is. So the 5 millimeter is nice because it centers perfectly in the center of a nice night and day contact lens. Typically you want to make sure the lens is dry in the center, so use a weck to kind of dry the lens off. And then basically once you get this kind of dried off to a degree, you'll take a forceps and you'll grab a hold of the edge of the, sometimes it's difficult to kind of grasp, kind of access it. And then you'll take it with the forceps and then center it right in the middle of the contact lens. And then usually kind of taking off bubbles is good. Sometimes it may have a fold. You can kind of arrange it so the lens is very well centered. And then so you have it set, and then you apply your contact lens. Depending upon what type of access you have to the person, sometimes you may have them look down, sometimes up, look down, and then you center the lens and obviously release that. Close your eyes for about 30 seconds. I usually let them close the eyes for about 30 seconds, and then I'll take a sterile weck and make sure there's no big bubbles that might allow the lens to slip out from underneath the contact lens. All right, Carlos, let's check. Chin right there. And typically a lot of elderly individuals may fear wearing a contact lens, but when you're using a extended wear type of contact lens, the people, we just say we apply and we remove, and we just kind of make sure that lens is centered in underneath the disc. And we also tell the patients or clients that it's best not to use ointments like they would for their current dry eye treatment, usually just thin artificial tears. If they have an angry eye, we'll often put them on an antibiotic, just kind of your standard antibiotic 4 times a day during the duration of wearing the lens, just to kind of make sure they don't get an infection. But otherwise it's easily applied. Contact lens is worn for about a week, or 10 days if you're on a double membrane, but the single membrane typically is pretty much absorbed in about 5 days. So that is it.